Picture this for a second. You're working on a critical report, your deadline is right around the corner, and you decide to use an AI assistant to pull together some foundational research just to get the ball rolling. It hands you this beautifully formatted list of statistics and citations. I mean, it looks absolutely perfect, right? But what if I told you that beneath that confident, polished output, there's a very real, immediate danger that could completely compromise your professional credibility? Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're targeting a major threat to professional researchers everywhere. We're talking about AI-generated fake facts that look literally indistinguishable from reality. We're going to break down exactly why this happens, how you can spot it, and most importantly, give you the concrete tools to stop it before it ever ends up in your work. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our roadmap. 1. The threat of fake facts. 2. The helpful friend analogy. 3. Danger zones, niche research. 4. The output verification checklist. 5. Prompting for honest uncertainty. And finally, 6. Practice verifying AI citations. So Section 1. The threat of fake facts. We need to establish from the very beginning that we aren't just talking about a simple typo or some bad math here. The immediate danger to your credibility is the AI's ability to create highly convincing, complete fabrications. Just look at this real-world example from the researchers at Anthropic, the team behind the AI assistant Claude. They noted that if you ask the AI to tell you about papers written by an actual researcher named Jared Kaplan, it confidently spits out answers. But here is the truly terrifying part for us as researchers. None of those titles actually exist. Literally zero. It fabricated them entirely out of thin air, but it presented them with the exact academic formatting, the correct author names, and the absolute certainty you'd expect from a real database. Wrong answers in AI, they don't look wrong, they look exactly right. Now, the formal definition for this phenomenon is called a hallucination, and it is absolutely crucial to internalize that this isn't just a glitch in the interface or a broken line of code. It's an error where the model actively invents fake statistics, facts, or citations, and get this, it will even argue with you to convince you that it's right. And here's the great paradox we're facing today. AI models are actually getting much better at their jobs. Hallucinations are becoming way more rare than they were even just a year ago. But ironically, that makes them dramatically harder to catch. Because the AI is usually right, say 95% of the time, we professionals let our guard down. We stop bothering to check the AI's work, and that complacency is precisely when a hallucinated citation slips right past us and into a final published report. Section 2. The helpful friend analogy. To really fight this, we have to demystify why these confident errors happen in the first place. I mean, why would a brilliant machine just lie to you? Well, look at the technical reality first. AI models are ultimately predictive text engines. They learn by reading massive amounts of internet data, and they get incredibly good at guessing the next logical word. It's kind of like a highly advanced version of your phone's autocomplete. But compare that technical reality to the totally relatable concept of a helpful friend. We all know that one person, right? A friend who takes immense pride in having read every popular book and knowing all the random trivia. When you ask them a really specific question they don't quite know the answer to, they desperately want to seem like the expert. They want to be helpful. So instead of just humbling themselves and admitting, I don't know, they take a confident guess just to save face. AIs are explicitly trained to be helpful to the user, so their default instinct is to give you an answer, literally any answer, even when they are completely guessing. Section 3. Danger zones. Niche research. That helpful friend behavior doesn't just happen randomly. It is triggered under very specific conditions. Mostly, it happens when data is scarce, which forces the AI's predictive engine to just take a blind leap. Think of it as a clear divide. On one side, we have safe, broad topics, things that have been written about millions of times online, like the history of the Roman Empire or how to make a chocolate cake. The AI has plenty of data to predict accurately there. But look over at the high-risk column. Obscure niche facts, very recent events, highly specific dates, names, or numbers, relatively unknown people or places. If you are a professional investigator or researcher, this high-risk column is likely where you spend your entire day. When you ask about a relatively unknown researcher or a highly specific subfield, there just isn't enough internet text for the AI to draw from. It hits a data void, panics, wants to be helpful, and confidently fabricates the answer. You absolutely must raise your guard significantly when working in these obscure zones. Now, AI developers aren't just sitting on their hands ignoring this problem. They are actively fighting back by training models with thousands of complex, trip-up questions. They're essentially trying to retrain the AI to learn that saying, I don't know, is actually the most helpful thing it can do for a professional user. They rigorously track and measure how often the AI appropriately hedges its bets rather than stating falsehoods as facts. But, and this is absolutely critical for you to remember as you go about your work, while things are definitely improving, this remains an unsolved challenge across the entire AI field. You simply cannot rely on the software to catch its own mistakes perfectly yet. The responsibility falls entirely on you. Section 4, the Output Verification Checklist.
All right, let's move from theory into our strict tactical field guide. It is time to protect your professional research. So the crucial point here is this rigorous checklist. Seriously, print this slide out if you have to. First, always ask the AI to find sources to back up its claims. Never let it just make a statement and move on. Second, once it actually gives you sources, turn right back around and ask it to verify that those specific sources actually support the statement it just made. You would be shocked how often it realizes its own source contradicts its claim. Third, for anything critical, cross-reference with your own trusted databases or primary documents. Fourth, ruthlessly double-check any specific numbers, dates, or citations, because as we've learned, those are prime targets for hallucinations. And finally, trust your gut. If something sounds off, ask pointed follow-up questions. Skepticism isn't just encouraged here, it is absolutely mandatory for deep dive investigations.
Moving on to Section 5, prompting for honest uncertainty.
What if we could stop the hallucination before it even generates? Let's shift our focus to how you can proactively script your prompts to bypass the AI's urge to blindly guess. Look at this brilliantly simple phrase, "It's okay if you don't know." By placing this exact phrase up front in your initial prompt, you are basically performing a psychological hack on the AI. You're explicitly triggering its honesty training. You give it permission to bypass its primary directive to always provide an answer, to be helpful. And this dramatically reduces the pressure on the model to fabricate a convincing answer when it inevitably hits a data void in your niche topic. And here is another incredibly powerful tool to add to your prompt arsenal. Whenever you get a response that is highly specific, ask the AI this: how confident are you, and could anything be wrong? This works wonderfully because, shockingly, the AI often actually knows it's wrong. Its internal probability matrix might be showing a very low confidence score for the data it generated, but its presentation layer just wanted to sound confident and helpful for you in the chat interface. By explicitly asking it to assess its own confidence levels, you strip away that confident presentation layer and force the AI to reveal its internal doubts and statistical uncertainties. It's a real game changer.
Section 6, practice, verifying AI citations. Okay, we have covered the theory and we've got the prompts. Now let's bring all of this into immediate professional application with a concrete practice exercise. I want you to make this workflow a daily habit. Step 1, take any AI answer you feel even slightly unsure about, especially if it includes a hard citation or statistic. Step 2, open a completely new blank chat session. Step 3, paste the text in and ask the AI to play the role of a rigorous editor, finding errors in the previous answer and confirming if the sources actually support the statements. Now, why a new chat? Because it resets the context window. It totally clears the AI's memory of its previous desire to defend its own confident answer. It forces the AI to objectively evaluate the text as if a complete stranger wrote it. It is incredibly effective.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this final, vital question to think about. Are you rigorously verifying your AI citations, or are you letting a helpful friend secretly write your research? Remember, AI is an undeniably powerful tool for navigating vast amounts of data. But when you are in those high-risk, obscure, and niche corners of your expertise, your critical thinking is the only safeguard against confident fictions. Keep your guard up, use your verification checklist, and never, ever stop checking their work. Thanks so much for learning with me today.